This video is about understanding what a fraction represents. The purpose of the fraction is to represent numbers that are parts of a whole. And the fraction has two numbers in it. The number that's on the bottom is called the denominator. And the denominator tells us how many pieces each whole is cut into or divided into. And then the top part of the fraction is called the numerator. And the numerator tells us how many pieces we have. So if we look at this first example of 3/4, in order to represent how much 3/4 would be, we need to, the denominator, the 4, tells us that our whole needs to be cut into 4 equal pieces. So I'm going to take this circle and cut it up into fourths. And then the numerator, the 3, tells us how many of those pieces we have. So to represent 3/4, I'm going to color 3 out of these 4 sections in. This kind of fraction right here is called a proper fraction. Because its numerator is smaller than its denominator. This second example tells us again that their denominator tells us how many pieces each whole is cut into. So our wholes need to be divided into 3 pieces each. And the 5 on top tells us that we have 5 of those pieces. So the first circle will give us 3 of them, and then we need a second circle to represent the other 2 pieces. So the picture or the representation of 5/3 would be wholes cut into 3 with a total of 5 of those third size pieces. And the name for this type of fraction is an improper. Improper fraction. Improper fractions have numerators larger than their denominators. The last kind of fraction that we're going to look at is this one over here. The whole number that is in the front is telling us how many whole pieces, how many whole objects we have already. So we have one whole object. So this whole circle is going to get colored. And then the second circle, the denominator tells us we need to cut that into 6ths. And you'll notice when I'm dividing these, with the thirds, I did not chop it in half first and then chop another one in half. The pieces are how many equal pieces we have. So we're dividing this into 6 equal pieces, as close as I can anyway. And then we're going to color in just one of them. So this is a representation of another type of fraction that we call a mixed number. In the last part of the example, I want to go the other direction here and show you how to go from the picture to the number. So looking at this guide, we can see that this first circle is cut into 3 pieces. So our denominator on this fraction is going to be a 3. And we've only got one of those 3 pieces. So this is a representation of the fraction 1/3. In this picture, each of our wholes is divided into 4 pieces. So the denominator on this fraction is going to be a 4, and then the total number of pieces that we have is 7. So this improper fraction is 7/4. And then this last one, because these first two circles are not divided into pieces, this is a representation of a mixed number. We have 2 wholes. Didn't quite give myself enough room to write it there. And then our last circle is divided into 5 equal pieces, and we have 3 of them for the mixed number 2 and 3/5.